The story begins with Llora finding out that her school will soon merge with Yuminion School, an idea she dislikes for 3 reasons, all related to the 3 most popular boys at that school. The first is Yozio, her brother, though no one knows she has one, not even her best friend, Ria. The second is Johnny, her crush, whom she is trying to forget. The third is Bugioc, whom she doesn't want to see due to an incident a week ago. She had gone to Yuminion School to give Johnny a gift with a note confessing her feelings. However, she mistakenly placed it in the wrong locker and was discovered by the owner of that locker, Hugh Hugh. She ran off, leaving the note behind, which Hugh Hugh read, thinking it was meant for him. The new school year begins, and Llora runs into Hugh, who quickly recognizes her and, recalling the note, asks her not to like him, surprising her. At lunch, Llora bumps into Hugh, who ignores her, increasing her dislike for him. Later, we see Wookie in the hospital, recovering from heart surgery, which led him to quit the swimming club. The next morning, Johnny and his best friend, Yuyang, walk to school together. She mentions that Llora would make a good match for him, but he responds that he already likes someone. A motorcycle speeds by, and Johnny pulls her close to protect her. Over the weekend, Llora goes to her rooftop to exercise but is shocked to find Hugh there. He arrogantly tells her he knows she likes him but asks her not to stalk him. Annoyed, Llora clarifies that the note wasn't for him but for Johnny. When she asks why he is there, he explains that he's moving in temporarily, as his father is a friend of her father's. Yozio arrives and explains to Hugh that they are siblings. The next day, in physics class, Ria proposes a race to Hugh. Being competitive, Llora overtakes everyone, including Hugh, who then speeds up, making the race intense until he collapses from exhaustion, worrying Llora. After being treated in the infirmary, Hugh meets Yuyang, revealing that they used to date but broke up during the holidays. She still likes him and asks to get back together, to which Hugh agrees. Llora sees them together but is interrupted by Johnny, who holds her hand and asks her out, leaving her speechless. The following day, Hugh and Yuyang go out to eat, but Hugh feels uncomfortable and has no appetite, frustrating Yuyang, who leaves. At home, Yuyang finds Johnny, who comforts her after she shows him a message from Hugh, ending their relationship. The next day, Hugh and Yuyang talk in the auditorium. He explains that many things, including his food preferences and hobbies, have changed since his surgery. Yuyang attributes his desire to end their relationship to the surgery. In class, Yuyang tells Llora that she heard rumors about Llora and Johnny dating, which Llora denies. However, Johnny brings snacks for Llora, causing the class to tease them and making Hugh jealous. Hugh asks Llora if she likes Johnny, but she tells him to stay out of her business. To tease her, Hugh takes a photo of her, threatening to send it to Johnny. Llora tries to grab his phone, and they both fall, ending up very close. They quickly separate, nervous, and Hugh leaves to cook, while Llora goes for a run to clear her mind but can't stop thinking about what happened. That night, Yozio asks Llora during dinner if she is dating Johnny, which she denies. Yozio suggests she give Johnny a chance, which annoys her. Over the following days, Hugh's immature behavior starts to tire Llora. One day, the boys are changing for gym class when Llora angrily enters, asking them to leave as it's the girls' turn. Hugh, speaking for the boys, refuses. Fed up, Llora starts to undress, escalating the situation until Hugh removes his shirt, and Llora doesn't back down. He quickly covers her with his shirt and makes the boys leave. This scene makes Yuyang jealous, and she advises Johnny to date Llora. That night, Yuyang meets with Hugh and mentions hearing that Llora likes Johnny, making him jealous. The next day, Yuyang tells Llora that she got back together with Hugh. This affects Llora, but she says she's fine with it. Later, Hugh goes to the doctor, concerned about his rapidly beating heart. After tests show he's fine, the doctor suggests it might be because he's in love. Hugh denies this but remains unsure. At the end of the day, Ria invites Llora to karaoke, overheard by Yuyang. At the karaoke bar, Llora steps out to buy something and sees Johnny, who offers to pay for her. They talk, and Llora asks him to stop being so nice to her because she doesn't like him. Johnny responds that he doesn't like her either and only asked her out because Yuyang wanted it. After apologizing, they agree to be friends, and he asks her to pretend to be his girlfriend to make Yuyang jealous. Later, Hugh and Johnny arrive, and Johnny suggests a double date, joined by Ria and Yozio. They all go out, take photos and have fun. Later, Johnny tells Llora he has been in love with Yu Yang since they were kids but didn't confess because she started dating Hugh. Meanwhile, Hugh asks Yu Yang to end their relationship because he no longer feels anything for her. He asks to remain friends, but Yu Yang, upset, leaves. Johnny sees her crying and quickly goes to her. Llora keeps walking and meets Hugh, who starts to say something but stops when he sees a teacher. He grabs Llora's hand, and they run. Hugh gets exhausted, and his heart races. He confesses to Llora that his heart only beats this way when he's with her, driving him crazy. Llora suggests he visit the hospital, but Hugh says the doctor mentioned it could be because he's in love and asks Llora to help him confirm it. Llora agrees and kisses him. They talk about the kiss but don't confess their feelings, agreeing to act as if it never happened. The next day, Hugh tells Llora he confessed his feelings to Yu Yang, who didn't respond, but he feels relieved. He advises Llora to do the same with Bugioc. After school, Llora takes his advice and tells Hugh she likes him but asks to stay friends since he's unsure of his feelings. During exam season, Llora and Hugh study together for hours. At one point, they lie on the floor to rest, and Llora ends up on Hugh's arm, making her nervous. Hugh gets close to her, and Llora closes her eyes, thinking he's going to kiss her, but he says he was just trying to swat a mosquito. Yozio arrives, and Llora quickly gets up, but Hugh doesn't. She checks on him and finds he has a fever, so he's taken to the hospital. There, Yozio learns that Hugh had heart surgery and quit the swim team because of it. This makes him feel bad because everyone thought Hugh was selfish for leaving, unaware of his surgery. After apologizing, Yozio advises him to return to the team. The next day, he speaks with the coach to ask if he can rejoin, but Yun refuses. Later in the afternoon, Yun tells Yu Yang what happened, and she shares about Bujun's surgery. Hearing this, Yun feels terrible for mistreating his friend. The following day, Yujiet seeks out Yun and asks to be let back on the team. Yun responds that he knows about his surgery and that it would be risky for him to come back. Yujiet then proposes a competition and asks Yun to at least agree to that. In the end, Yun accepts, and both start swimming. However, Yujiet falls ill in the middle of the race, and Yun takes him to the hospital. He calls Yu Yang to inform her of what happened. When Yujiet wakes up, he finds Yozio and Johara by his side, as Yu Yang had called them. Johara scolds Bujun for risking his health, and he holds her hand. Seconds later, she leaves the room and breaks down in tears, truly worried about him. In another part of the hospital, Yun talks with Yu Yang and tells her to visit Yujiet. To his surprise, Yu Yang reveals that she didn't come for Bujun but for him because she thought he was the one who got hurt and was very worried. This made her realize that she also cared for him. Hearing this, Yun can't help but smile with happiness and kisses her. Days pass, and one night, Ria meets Yozio and Johara, discovering that they are siblings. As time goes by, Bujun's condition improves, and he starts competing with his friends again. The relationship between Yun and Yu Yang progresses very well, and they are happy together. Meanwhile, the friendship between Wookie and Johara continues until one night. He confesses that he is in love with her, starting their relationship and ending the mini-drama.